Hello and welcome to Paul's Spare Time. It's time for another Buffalo nickel hunt. The hunt's a little different here. The Buffalo nickel, as you know, one of my favorite coins, minted from 1913 to 1938, 64 coin set, plus a recognized 3.5 leg buffalo, which we probably aren't going to find. But let me tell you what I'm doing. I am going through a bunch of Buffalo nickels. You know, the Buffalo nickel, again, one of my favorite coins. We still find an average of half per box that we search. Sometimes we find them like this with the 1937 date on them in beautiful shape, but there was a design flaw in these coins. And a lot of time you'll get one that looks like that, and the date is worn off. What we're doing is we're using a chemical restorer that a lot of the time can make that date so it's readable again. It's called Nicodate. And I'll show you how you do this, and you notice I got gloves on. You don't want that stuff touching your skin for sure. But we're restoring nickels. So far, we have done 11 episodes, restored 45 of the 65 nickels, 125 of the 136 coins we've tried to restore have restored. We're getting closer to filling this book. We need a 1914. We need a 1926, 26S, 27D, 27S, and then a lot of the more recent ones. So, what we're going to do is get to restoring, so back in a second. Alright, here are our first two candidates. You can see no date and no date. Will these dates come back? I don't know. Hope so. Alright, I've got the Nicodate on both of them. Let's watch and see if the magic happens. I see that one coming back. Looks like a 1919. Do you see it? Now you see it. That one. Spilling your Nicodate, bad. Spilling your Nicodate during a video, worse. Back in a second. Alright, sorry about that. Near disaster. 1919. Come down a little bit. That one is restoring for sure. We now know what it is. How about this one? Yeah. Not so much on that one. We'll let it chew for a while. They don't always come back. I don't. Well, see an 8. Might be a 38. Nah, who knows? 28. Well, let's take this one, the 1919. And I'm going to dip it in the water, deactivate the chemical, dab it off, dry it. Bring it back over. And then I'm going to answer the phone. Darn spam calls. 1919. Let's look at the reverse of that one. See if it's got a mint mark. I don't see one. But we'll give it a little drink here. And see if we can restore a date on that one. I'm going to take that one and dry it off and put some new Nicodate on it to see if we're going to be able to get a date. Ah, 1920, it's coming. Mint mark, not so much. Not seeing a mint mark on that one. So the 1919, right there, in 1919, we do not need in our book. And that one didn't restore awesome, although it restored pretty good. So they're going to put that one in the checked and restored, but not needed for the book. This one I saw from the edge is a 1920, I do believe. I don't know how much we're going to get back on it. But we can let it chew for a while. The way you hold the light on it makes a lot of difference. Yep, there you see it, 1920. Again, that one's not restored well enough that I'd want that to be my best example in the book, but I now can tell what the date is. Now, restoring buffalo nickels like this does reduce their value by about 75%, but it's a 1921 actually. And I don't see a mint mark. It really doesn't matter. There could be an S down there. We'll put that in the date restored but not needed for the book. Back with two more in a minute. All right, our next two volunteers. No date. That might be a 24. We'll restore it anyway. Actually, if you can tell it's a 24, you shouldn't restore it. Have more value not restored because we are damaging the coin, but we're damaging the coin because otherwise we can't tell what the date is. It doesn't have much value in that manner anyway. Boy, I missed the date area on that one bad. Let's see this one. That one's coming. 1935, I think, on that one. Which light is hurting it so bad? And this one is a 1924. So we'll see how well those are going to restore. A 24 and I think a 35. 24 we do not need in, well, we do need it in the backup book. A 34 we need 34, 34D, both. So we may have added one to the book. Oh, it's a 35, just a different story. We need the 35, 35D and 35S. So regardless of which one it is, we need that one. A 24 has restored well. Let me deactivate the chemical. You can see the 1924. Check the mint mark on that one. I do not see a mint mark. I do see something down there. Not there though, Paul. All the way over there. See if that one comes back. This one, we're going to wash off. Doesn't look great, but it's the date we need. See how much we can read it if we need to put any more juice on it. Now you can see that. That's a 1935. And don't know about the mint mark. So we'll see. I use a toothpick to move the juice around to where I want it. And I put way too much on that. That was unnecessary. See if anything shows up on either one of those. Maybe on that one. It's looking like it might be a D. Clear that up any. sure. That one's not showing anything. That's been long enough. The mint mark tends to come back quickly. So that's going to be a 1935 P. And in the book, we need a 35P. So I will put it in there to put in later. Might be a D down there. I don't know. Like all sorts of stuff. I'm not seeing it centered down there. So we're going to say that one does not have a mint mark. Dry it off. Look again. Yeah, it does have a mint mark, but it doesn't look like it's in the right place. It looks like there's a D there, but then it looks like there's an S to the right of that. We're going to call that no mint mark. And it is a 1920, boy, it got harder to read, 25. Let's give it another little drink. Give it another little drink here. Let's see if we can make it a little better. 1924. 1924. Let it restore a little longer. I do need a 1924. We said no mint mark on this. This will be a 1924P. We do need that in the second book I'm trying to create. So that's a good thing. And that popped back out really nice this time. We deactivate the chemical. $19.24. So we'll slot that one over into the other book as a find. And let's find 2 more volunteers. All right, we got 2 more volunteers. That one's rugged. Nothing there. And nothing there. Give him a little drink. Spread it around. See anything happening there yet? I don't see anything happening there yet. Let those chew for a while and we'll be back. Alright, that one with sideline is coming back. It's the one on the right, the 1915. The one on the left, I don't see a thing. Yeah, maybe a 1930 something, I don't know. 1915 looks pretty good though. Clean it up. Deactivate the chemical. Look at it. Oh yeah, 1915 very clearly. That one, don't know. We'll clear it up and give it another drink. See what we can see. there's something coming there. It may come back. That one definitely a 1915. Let's see if we got a mint mark on the 1915. I see something down there. Maybe. Facing the same direction. There's something under the E, but that's not where it goes. So I'm not seeing anything come back yet between the E and the C. This one, there's something there. Can I read it? That's the question. $19.35 maybe? Yeah. We'll let it chew some more. Not seeing a mint mark on that one. Let's clean it off, deactivate it, and look at it again. Puppy's helping. They want me to play with them. They don't want me working. Not seeing a mint mark there, so it's going to be a 1915 P. Don't need it in the first book. Don't need it in the second book. So we'll put it in the pile of coins for Hudson to check to see if they're upgrades. That's a 1913. We'll let it chew and see if it'll come in clearer, but that's a 1913. Well, it's there, but it's faint. See if zoom helps any. Might make it harder to see. It's right there. It's a 1913. Can you see it? Right there. 1913. I'm going to give it another drink and see if I can make it better. It may make it worse, we'll see. You can definitely see the date a little better when it's wet, but that one's not restored real nicely, but it is a 1913. So I'm going to let it chew and we'll check for a mint mark because we need all the 1913s in the second book. Though I'd like for them to be in better shape than that. It should be a type 2. I think I've plucked all the type 1s out. See how good it can get. Back in a sec. Alright, I'm going to pull that one off. Definitely a 1913. Definitely not in very good condition. I can barely read it with the nicotate. But we need it in the other book, so I'd rather have a slot full and be a bad coin than no slot full. Yeah, you can read it. 1913. Not very good, but you can. Got a mint mark. I do not see a mint mark. We'll see if anything comes to light here. Way too much. Didn't need that much. Hey, we may have a D coming up at the bottom there. We may have a D mint mark coming up. May just have my imagination too. I don't see it now. See a U. I don't think that's a mint mark. A possible D down there where it's supposed to be. But I'm not seeing a mint mark where it's supposed to be. Call that damage. And we're going to take that 1913D. We're going to put it in the second book. won't count towards filling our album that we're working on, but it'll start filling the second album. Back with 2 more volunteers. Alright, I don't see a date on either one of these. So, try to experiment. We'll put just a tiny bit on one side. And more on the other side. See which one restores quicker and better. Or at all. So one with more. I see a date coming up. See the 0? I see a date coming up over here too. And I don't even have stuff on the whole date. Still don't. We're going to have to redo that one. It's coming though. It's going to be a 1925. Gonna be a 1925. I think maybe more is better, or less is better. Also all depends on the coin. 24 maybe. 25 definitely. Let's redo those. Hit the 1925 again, hit the 1924 again, if that's what they actually are. That one, I don't see anything. Maybe it's coming. That one, certainly a 1925. Well, 1925, I don't need in the main book. I need a 25D in the secondary book. So let's stop that one. Definitely see the 25. See if it's got a mint mark. We need a D. I don't see anything. Give it drop. See if anything comes back. This one, oh, there's something down there. Boy. What it is, I don't know. Are we seeing a D down there? I think we might be. Let's look closer. Yeah, that's a D down there. That is a, I'll let it come on some more. I believe that's a D. See it right there. D. That's the right spot. It looks like a D. Looks like a D. Could be a D. And this one, ugh. There's something there. 19, I don't know. I don't know on that one. Let's deactivate the one with a possible mint mark. And C. Oh yeah, that's a D. You can see it down there. Although it's an S. It's not a D. It's an S. So that is a 1925S. And the 25S we do not need in either book, so that one will be restored, not needed. This one we're about to give up on, although I'm seeing something. Back in a second. All right, it's either a 28 or a 29. See if I can get that. There, you can see part of it. The 1920. 8 or 9. Yeah. Let it continue to chew. I'll see if I can get a date. Well, I got entirely too much goop on it, but it is a 1929. We don't need any 1929s for the main book. We need a 29 and a D, P and a D for the other book. Let's deactivate this. Boy, that took a lot of juice to get that back. That was in bad shape. I don't even know if it'll be readable. Yeah, you can see it. 29. Have we a mint mark? We most certainly do have a mint mark. We most certainly do have a mint mark. Like a D. Looks like a D. There it comes, and it is a D. Between the E and the C. That's going to be a 29D, so that is going to go into the other book as one we need. 8.4 million minted. That's good enough. I hope we find a better one than that. I hope we find a better one than that. That one's not great. But you can tell the 1929, and it is a D mint mark down there. So we'll slot that in the other book. Let's get 2 more volunteers here. This will be the last 2 we do in this video. I think that'll put us at 10, 3. We have 1 for this book. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, this will put us at 10. No date. No date. Coming there. We'll just stick with this one and watch it pop. 1935 maybe? It's coming back. 1925. Coming back strong. 1925. We need some 25s for the other book, I think. A 25D. We don't need it for the main book. What the other one did. That's coming too. That may be a 26 or also a 25. That's a 26. That's a 26. That's got the 25 restored nicely. I'm going to give a little more to the other one. Deactivate this one. See if that one continues to come. Definitely going to be a 25 or a 26. Are we going to be able to tell the difference? This one, certainly a 1925. You can't see it great there. We'll give it another drink too, because it was coming. It was coming nicely. Coming so nicely, it's a 1923. This one is a 25 or 26, but I'm not sure which. Let's dry it off and give it another drink. Get the 26. I think it's a 26. That one is definitely a 23. That one is a 25, I think. $1923, we do not need in the main book. We do not need it in the secondary book either. For the 23, we'll check it for an upgrade. Let's deactivate it. $1923, clear readable date. Do we have a mint mark? Maybe an S. Maybe an S. I don't know. We'll see if anything comes back. Maybe a D. D's coming in strong, I think. That one is a 1925, I believe. I'm going to look up the fonts to see. I'm just sure that's a 1925. Just sure that's a 1925. I'm going to be looking at, you can't see it, but I'm going to be looking at PCGS and looking at a 1925 Buffalo nickel versus a 26 and check the font. See what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, it's looking more like a 5 all the time. 5 is squared off, that's what that is. Versus a 26. PC just a little slow today. Totally rounded. Yeah, that's a 5. That is a 5. Did we get a mint mark back over here? I don't know. I don't think so. Deactivate the 25. Hard to see. It is a 25. It has a D mint mark. It has a D mint mark. 25D. Hey, we need that for the secondary book. good thing. See if we got a mint mark under this juice. No mint mark visible. So that is going to be a 23P. Don't need it in that book. Don't need it in that book. Restored, not needed. Back with a recap in a sec. All right, that's going to end episode 12. We had one for the main book, a 1935P. We're up to 46 out of 65. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 for the secondary book. All 10 that we liquidated did restore. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll try to find a way to speed these up. But we'll be back again when Paul has more spare time trying to redate some buffalo nickels.